Stephen, it wasn't playing the copyright-free music. I'm absolutely apoplectic with rage here.
Don't talk to me about copyright, you bum. Hello and welcome on into this Monday's edition of Entertainment News here at MBE. I'm one of your co-hosts, Stephen John McLaughlin. Our other co-host, we're like twins tonight.
We are, yes. I'm not wearing the Lewis Hamilton hat tonight.
What's going on here? It's John C. Walsh. How you doing, John?
The Lewis Hamilton hat, which is now so synonymous that it's actually part of the fucking logo.
Yeah, it is.
But rest assured, I have bought another one. Bought a black one. Because I like black. Can you tell? I'm always in fucking black.
It does come in black.
It's come in black.
Yeah.
I'm like a slightly more diminutive Scottish version of Johnny Cash. I say slightly more because I think Johnny was a very large gentleman. I think he was about 6'4".
Was he?
Was he? I don't know. I need to search it up.
Tell you, but
I'm not as tall as Johnny Cash.
What a guy! What a guy
I like
he
black.
was. Yeah. Why not? And it makes us blend into the chair.
Search it up just now.
Obviously, it wasn't ideal when you were doing cutouts, John. Try to work out where our shoulders were.
Yeah, no, he was 6'1.5". I take that back.
Still a tall man.
He was a tall man.
Yeah, obviously that
6'1.5".
Buffon probably put him up to 6'4", John. But
yeah, in his boots.
We're not here to talk about Johnny Cash. We're here to talk about Macca. Paul McCartney, of course. He is teasing a major international tour, John. Got to get you into my life. Got
to get you into my life.
That's one of my favourite songs from Macca. John, and I think someone covered that actually. Yeah, that's the anthology. Yeah. Love that. Who was that? Is it Lennon?
That was Lennon,
was
yeah.
It? John, I don't know how you feel about this. Paul McCartney appears to be laying the groundwork for another global tour. The Evergreen Beatle posted a cryptic message to his social channel over the weekend, encouraging fans to sign up for his mailing list with the promise of news coming soon. Now,
already
John,
on his mailing list.
I'm pretty sure Paul doesn't do this himself. He's got a team. He's got
What
McCartney.
Paul needs to do is get a shave, because this stubble is just, I'm not having it.
I think it's aging him.
It is aging him, yeah, bizarrely.
Which is weird. Yeah.
He had a full beard back in the day. I had no issues with the full beard, but the stubble, it just looks casual. And the haircut as well. Mac, I'd do something with that fucking hair, please, mate.
John, we saw The Great Man in 2010, thanks to yourself arranging that.
Glorious night.
Hampden Park, yeah. Oh, a great summer's night, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's back when we had summers.
Cold tennis lager, which was fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
Usually piss water, but it wasn't that.
Didn't mind paying the £5 for it back then either. I don't know what it is now, probably double that.
No, I think it's about the same.
And the seats, although not the greatest, you're in the venue, you're in watching that man going, I can't believe I'm actually looking at a Beatle in real life here. Yeah. That's what a lot of people are like, I suppose. John, he did come back in Glasgow. Sorry, folks, it's Glasgow we're talking about here. Yeah. He did come back a few years ago and played at the Hydro, I think it was, to a limited crowd. And I think the prices were
fucking insane.
Yeah, and they sold out within seconds as well.
Insane, but they were insane.
I don't know how I feel about this, John, because I think you mentioned that I think Paul's voice in 2010 was probably at its peak at that point. I don't think
old Paul peak, yeah.
Yeah, old Paul peak, yeah. Old Paul peak, yeah. Peak old Paul, yeah. And
sort of geriatric Paul peak.
Yeah, I mean, he's got his backing group as well who try to mask
and
a lot
to
of
be
the
fair
notes
to
and
do,
stuff
Stephen, you've got Rusty Anderson, I think, is that what his name is?
Yeah.
The sort of darker haired guitarist. He's a great singer. He's a singer and an artist in his own right.
Yeah.
Also, the drummer is a fantastic drummer, but he also can go really high. So I always laugh when people criticise the great man. Certainly that Glastonbury set from last year, they were going off about his voice. What you need to realise is the mixing in these sort of festival sort of events are never the best. And you'd think from an esteemed sort of broadcasting corporation such as the BBC, reminded me of Virgil Tibbs there in the heat of the night. Such a powerful piece of manpower such as Virgil Tibbs. I went off on a tangent there mentally, and now I've brought it out into the universe. You'd think with the BBC, Stephen, and all the technological sort of fucking might they've got at their disposal, that they could do a better job of mixing the fucking sound, but they can't. And sadly, it just doesn't work the same as what it's like is when you're sitting in the actual arena watching, and the backing singers and the drummer and Rusty are harmonising with Paul And they're filling in with some of the gaps that he can't hit himself. That's not to say he can't sing anymore. John, he can still fucking sing.
He's at an age where he just can't do it anymore. And that's not just not exclusive to Paul McCartney. Bruce Springsteen requires that as well. Elton John as well. All those in that sort of generation all have a good support around them to... I don't want to say mask, because it's as if they're trying to con the public, but they're not. But it's just to get the best sound possible they can for obviously the audience. And you know, people unfortunately go to gigs expecting to hear the record, and it's not the case. It's never going to be the case.
Who was I was listening to speaking about recently, and they went off in that about why the Arctic Monkeys,
yeah,
they changed the song, the way it's sung, the key it's sung in. They changed.
Dylan does it as well,
and Dylan's a classic example. Yeah. And their argument is, if you want to listen to the record, you go and listen to the fucking record. Yeah. It's there forever,
John,
and it's unchanged.
You're probably the same as myself. When you go to obviously a gig, it's not just about staring and listening to the music and try to match it up with what you remember from the record. It's an event. It's a feeling. Yeah. You know, and it's a communal thing. It's like going to the football. Yeah. You know, just having that kind of aura around you, everyone supporting the same thing, loving the same thing, and it's just a great feeling.
It's a celebration, Steve. Yeah, that's what music's all about. Yeah. They were bang on back in the day.
I understand that when artists do say that. You know, if you want to hear it, listen to the record. If you want to hear the record, it's true.
And it's ultimately their creative sort of brainchild that's gifted these songs, and if they choose to play a slightly different version of the song live, then that's their prerogative. They can do what they want. It's their fucking music. And that's life. You move on, you enjoy it, and then you go and listen to the song as it was originally released.
I will be honest though, John, at 82, I didn't think Paul McCartney would do another world tour. I thought perhaps maybe an American tour, or perhaps maybe a European tour, but not...
He's still got energy though, Steve.
He has, John, and I mean,
he's going for hours and hours.
That in a bad way or anything. I just thought perhaps maybe at 82 he might want to slow it down a little bit, but he doesn't know. I don't think he knows how to, you know.
No, Steen, I think he's doing the best thing. Yeah. Once you stop and you sit in the house, or you slow things down, certainly at that age I'd imagine, you can't get it back, man. You need to keep fucking riding the crest of the wave, living the life you've been living. It keeps you young. Yeah. And you see it with the man. You see it with his gait, you see it with the way he's fucking everything about him, his aura. He doesn't look like a man in his 80s. His hair is tremendous. He's very fit. He's walking about. He's very nimble.
John, he looks like a guy in his
60s. He's got So he switched on it a lot later than Ringo, didn't he?
The only vice that he probably has is hash.
Yeah, I'm no doubt in my mind he's still doing that.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of videos where he doesn't hide it.
Quite right. You're quite right.
You know, and I think, you know, for a man his age, he's, you know, in terms of what he does and what the energy he brings to these performances still it's outstanding, because you compare him to any ordinary 82-year-old who probably can't even stand upright. But I suppose it's lifestyles as well, John. But the man created his own lifestyle with his hard work at the start of his life, I suppose, you know, and his genius. In terms of, I don't know if he's coming to Scotland, I'm not really sure. I would like to see him one last time.
I was going to ask you that. Yeah. Would you like to go and see him again?
I think so,
knowing
John.
That it's potentially you're getting to that dodgy time where it could be the last time you ever get to see Paul McCartney.
It all depends. If it's stadium, if it's a stadium gig, then we've got a good chance of seeing him.
Stephen, it haunts me to this day that we didn't see Bob Dylan in the Armadillo.
Yeah, I know.
Like 800 people. Yeah. It doesn't get any more intimate than that.
And tickets were available. I don't know what happened.
They weren't expensive either, Stephen. They were about £60.
No.
Which is fucking dirt cheap.
John, I've had a few chances with Dylan. I think maybe about 3 chances since the year 2000, and I thought, why do I keep postponing it? I'm going to regret this, because I regret not going to see Bowie. I do regret
Steve, that's one of my big regrets as well, not getting to see the Bold Bowie. Obviously it was health conditions that stopped him from touring.
2003, I think he had a heart attack, didn't he?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, Steve, I'm amazed it didn't happen sooner with David.
Yeah.
The lifestyle he lived was fucking interesting, to say the least. The Finn White Duke, I think it was, that era in the 90s. Man was taking more drugs than a fucking pharmaceutical company.
Yeah.
So it's incredible you managed to get that long. And even then, I think it was just a sort of thing that was actually going on, a sort of genetic thing. Not genetic, what do you call it again? When it's like a...
Yeah, genetic.
There's another word for it. I can't
Hereditary,
think of it.
I don't know.
Hereditary, yeah. So I can't remember. That matter.
Yeah.
It was a natural thing. It wasn't relating to the lifestyle of the drugs, I don't presume. I was going to say something there, yeah. Stephen, he was actually out talking recently, Macca, and I found it quite interesting. I read an article, he was speaking about modern day gigs and the length of them, how epic they are. And he blames Bruce Springsteen, funnily you should mention Bruce, for starting this nonsense. He says, and the Beatles were in their heyday. They do 29-minute sets, 30-minute sets. I'd be raging
if I went to a McCartney concert that lasted 20 minutes.
I was going to ask that though. Would you be adverse to him as he gets older, if he continues touring, if he does come to see Glasgow again? I'm doing a more condensed, shorter set, because a man in that age range can't be doing 3-hour sets for much longer.
I think 2 hours is a good number for anyone. The problem is McCartney's got such a catalogue, and he does do some of the Beatles hits as well thrown in, so it must be hard for him to sort of pin that down the tracks, because normally when artists do go out on the road, they want to promote their new stuff, they want to promote their new album. That's what sells their album, I suppose, to an extent. But McCartney's in such a unique position where he can release an album without much promotion and it'll sell anyway, just because of the brand, you know. But I would be happy with 2 hours. I think 2 hours, do some new stuff, solo stuff, Wings, Beatles, just condense it, you know. I think when we went to see him at Hampden, I think it was 2.5 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I think that was enough. I did the encore. He brought out obviously the pipe band for Mulligan, which he doesn't really do anywhere else in the world, and I thought that was fantastic as well. And Live and Let Die with the fireworks and stuff like that.
Epic, yeah.
You know, just do the crowd pleasing stuff if you want, you know. But I like listening to his new stuff, John. We were talking about Egypt Station not that long ago, and there was 3 tracks in a row. I think it might have been track 4, 5 and 6, or 3, 4 and 5. I can't remember, but all in a row. I went, I like that one. I like that one. I like that one.
Oh, he's still got it.
It's just a great album, you know.
It has. He's still got it.
Yeah.
I was listening to Why Don't We Do It in the Road today when I was walking my dog. Wasn't connected to my dog and walking him in any way, I have to stress. It just came on. And I was reminded by just how good his voice is. I can't do it.
Johnny's a phenomenal singer. I know he can't do it. That's the thing.
No, I know, but he could.
And this is one of the things we talked about as well with the AI, de-aging his voice for the new Beatles single coming up. I think September they're talking about. Whether that's true or not, I'm not sure. But I'm looking forward to hearing this final Beatles record. But it just shows the man's busy. He's got the Man on the Run as well, the photography book as well. I'm interested in this Man on the Run documentary as well, because this is the period I don't really know too much about.
Yeah, the sort of Wings.
You know, just post Beatle breakup, get into Wings, you know, just after the solo thing.
That'd be a great period to see explored in documentary form, because he was in a dark place.
Yeah.
Admitted himself he was depressed because he thought he'd fucking lost everything.
That's a side you don't really see to Paul McCartney, is the sort of negative side. He's always been a positive person, John, and I'm not knocking him for that. I wish
you did see it in the Get Back stuff.
John, I kind of felt...
Obviously George left and then John didn't turn up. You seen him just staring off in a trance.
Fear. It was a look of fear, yeah.
And he didn't have to be fearful, Stephen. The guy's so talented, he can do anything.
Yeah. I don't think he knew at that point, though, John. I don't think he knew. I think he started to believe in some of the sort of negative things that were going around at the time, that perhaps maybe... And John was guilty of it. He was guilty of it, wasn't he? With the only thing he did was Yesterday and stuff like that. And I know that came from CINE, which is a terrible thing to say, but I think McCartney did start to believe that press.
Bullshit,
you know?
As well.
That perhaps maybe he wasn't as good, but it's just a lot of crap, as you say.
No, Stephen, we were discussing it. There's certain sections of the Beatles fandom who have got their favourites and they like to attack other members of the Beatles, be it passive-aggressively or just flat-out aggressively, which I can never understand, because it's a band you're supposed to love.
Yeah.
And every single member of that band is of equal importance.
Yeah.
You take one out, fair enough, they could maybe exist in some form or another, but it wouldn't have that same energy that those 4 guys brought to the table. Yeah. And what I was thinking about it, Stephen, the other day, it's not just the actual Beatles, it's the fucking side characters. Your Mal Evans, your Aspinalls, that was his name, wasn't it? Neil Aspinall.
Derek Taylor,
Derek Taylor.
Yep.
Fucking your man,
fucking
Glenn John.
Yeah, Glenn Johns.
Glenn Johns.
Yeah.
Guys like that, the side characters, even Billy Preston. I don't want to call Billy Preston a side character, but
I probably shouldn't have said George Martin either. Then but I know that kind of level of the circle.
It's the circle that sort of followed them about. I mean, you're fucking incredible individuals who were connected to this band. There's just an aura about the band.
Magic Alex.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah. I was thinking about Magic Alex, how there wasn't many actual fucking chancers, dickheads, and then his name came into my head, and I thought, that's right.
There was only one person that held him in high regard, and that was John.
Yes, it was John. Yeah, but we know that John had a soft spot for the sort of eccentrics.
Yeah,
they liked technology, which is why I'd have loved to have seen an alternate reality where he actually survived and seen what we're living now. He'd have been all over AI. All fucking
social
over it,
media,
man. Social media.
See, I don't believe for a minute that, you know how Paul McCartney on social media, it's clearly not Paul, it's the team, it's his team. I don't think Lennon would have done that. I think
Liam Gallagher.
He'd have been, in person, very personal social media.
You just know it would have been incredible. He'd have been posting photos up of fucking cats and like just baking shit and things like that. It'd have been fucking incredible. Yeah. And sadly we were robbed of that.
Having some spats and stuff like that in line with other artists.
100%.
Elton John in that. He's a good friend, obviously, but he did like to fall in and out of people.
He certainly did, Stephen. But yeah, look, man, I'm looking forward to seeing if he does go on a tour, see what it's going to encompass, Stephen. I watched him I wasn't there. Yeah. I watched his live performance at Glastonbury last year. I thought he still had it, man. The voice is clearly not what it was, but the energy's still there, the spirit's still there. And when you get together, as you say, communally, it's always a special experience.
It's interesting to say that about the voice at Glastonbury 2022, John. I've watched the I've Got a Feeling clip quite a few times, as you know, and obviously the superimposed version of Lennon coming through. You notice McCartney picks up at that point, and I think the two of them worked well together in that sense because they could bounce off each other, and I think just for that moment he got that because his voice kind of propelled, because he was singing along with his old buddy, which is kind of sad, but it's the best they can do, I suppose. But what about yourself, John? Is it something that would interest you to go and see him one last time?
Yes, just pure because of the age. It'd be the last chance potentially. I don't want to say that because I'm quite bad at saying things like that, then something happens. Not as bad as my sister, but I remember saying about a dog. You don't look as though you've got a long life, my man.
Week later it died.
It dies, so I'm just going to take that right back out of the universe.
Though, I think this guy could be around to about 100. I really do, but I don't think he'll be doing gigs at 100 or anything.
I think Ringo would be raging. I think Ringo's desperate to be the last one, so he can just start fucking changing everything. What do you think you're changing history, Paul? Well, I was the one that wrote fucking Get Back. Yesterday.
It was me and Mal Evans.
It was me, I wrote Yesterday as well.
Dr. Evil and Austin Powers, when he sang that song, he was back in the 60s, and he sang no, What If God Was One of Us, and once he finished playing it, he went, I wrote that. No, you didn't. Good answer.
But yeah, man, I hope he lives to a fucking good age, and I hope he continues touring for as long as humanly possible. Fuck all those haters. Ultimately, music is sort of a communal experience that brings togetherness, and there's always going to be a generation of people who have not had the chance to see a Beatle live in any form, and the longer they're touring, the longer it's given that sort of brilliant experience to people coming through. I always
remember, John, 2009, I think, was it? No, it might have been, was it 2000? It was after that, so it would have been 2011. Ringo was performing in Glasgow and his tickets went on sale, and I'm fucking extortionate. And I always remember sending you the link with the price and you went, fucking hell, Bongo. I always remember that response. Bongo.
It was an all-star band though, wasn't it?
It's like yellow, you got to pay for the
fucking
team,
orchestra, and stuff like that.
There's about 50 of them on the stage. It's like madness concert or something.
I'd still like to see Ringo, but he's a chancer when it comes to pricing. Peace and love, everybody. Peace and love. You're
said Thomas.
You're 16. You're beautiful, and you're mine. Ringo, you're 80 fucking free, mate.
Carrie Fisher's not your type. But anyway.
You're 83, Ringo. We're going to singing about 16-year-olds. It was fucking weird.
Yeah, I know. It was that 40 years ago. It was like Barry Phil Wiedersson pet with that leather jacket on. It just didn't look right.
Ringo, that's a good song, to be fair. It's that, dude.
I love the intro. The intro is incredible, good song, John, but kind of wrong in these days. But
You come on like a dream, peaches and cream, lips
Ringo
like
was
strawberry
mid-30s at that
wine.
point. That's like you singing that about a 16-year-old.
You're beautiful and you're mine.
Let that sink in.
Yeah, it's fucking weird, isn't it, to be fair? On that note, I think we'll move on.
Yeah, we'll move
Stephen.
on, John. We're going to move on very swiftly before we get our collars felt. We're talking about Loki Season 2 trailer, John. We've just watched it.
You can't feel our collars for this, cunts.
We're going to talk about the Red Blue album again, but
It's clearly not updated.
that's okay. But Loki Season 2 trailer, John, we watched it.
There we go.
We reviewed for Season 1, of course. We didn't do a watch along. That was back in the days before we were getting strikes.
Looking back to those days.
Yeah, good old days. Yeah. Loki Season 2. What did you make of the trailer, John? I loved it. Same feel as the Season 1, I felt. Not too many big jumps away from the sort of theme and the sort of tone of Season 1. Kang, very underplayed in the trailer as well. I think we only saw him once, maybe in that circus scene.
That's good for me because I've still not seen that, man.
Yeah.
So I've not actually seen the so-called definitive sort of Majors Kang performance to date. So I need to go and watch that. I need to go and watch Guardians. I've got a lot of catching up to do, Stephen. I've not seen Secret Invasion. And see, to be honest with you, when you've got guys like Campea, who are usually the most fucking shilliest of shills of Marvel content, when they're saying that the ending is just fucking destruction on an unknown scale of what's came before and what's presumably going to come afterwards. Look, I'm a fan of Amelia Clark, as you know, fucking brilliant actor.
John, you'd like to marry her.
I don't know if I'd like to marry her.
Let's get it straight.
I've never met her, but certainly a very good looking woman. Let's be fucking true. Getting a little bit too thin now, though. I've noticed she's lost a bit of weight. You need to get a grip with that, Amelia. You don't want to be too skinny. No one likes a fucking lollipop.
No, with those eyebrows.
No, you need to put a little bit of weight on in the face. You look better with the weight in the face. Much as I'm a fan of her, you can't be giving her about 50 million fucking powers for every superhero and villain who's been in the MCU today. I've not seen it yet. That is a spoiler. Sorry if anybody's come in and fucking not seen it either. I don't think I'm going to watch Secret Invasion. Stephen, I am completely disconnected from the Kree Skrull stuff. I checked out of that after Captain Marvel, and I've never checked back in. And to be honest with you, I've checked out of Marvel a little bit in the last year or two.
I think,
it's
John,
concerning.
that's your nature, though. You step out of something that's hard to get you back in the door.
A fucking shield behind me, though. You know what happened? It was him going.
Yeah, I think it was
and
as well.
Fucking Iron Man going. The
Eternals, I thought it was okay. I know you like Shang-Chi. I thought
fucking
it was
love
okay.
Shang-Chi. And you know what? I seen Simu Liu was on with Uncle Roger.
Yeah.
Fucking yes, man. Those two were the sort of partnership I didn't realise I needed in my life. They were cooking, I can't remember what they cooked, but they cooked something and it looked tremendous. He brought in takeaway.
How well does Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson work together, though?
Fantastic.
Again in this trailer,
that's another dynamic duo I didn't realise I needed in my life. Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson.
I can imagine on set Hiddleston actually impersonating him because he does a good impersonation.
Oh, he does, Stephen.
I imagine him actually winding him up. Like,
you ever seen the video of Tom getting suited and booted in I think it's like a Louis Vuitton suit?
The Edinburgh accent.
accent. Yeah. How fucking good is the accent? I think his mother or his father is from Scotland. So he's half Scottish. He does do a brilliant accent. Very good. He is a great guy. Love Tom. And he is a driving factor in my excitement for this show, Stephen, because what he delivered with Owen Wilson. And but to be fair, the Sylvie actress was brilliant as well. She's got quite a weird name. I think a mental Italian kind of name. Yeah. They were the sort of standouts. And obviously Kang came in at the end and nearly stole the show.
I don't think he made it, though. I mean, it was fantastic without him. We were waiting for him, but
that fucking cliffhanger at the end.
Everything about it, though, the sort of feel to it, the tone of it, that sort of creepy animated clock thing.
Yeah, miss time or something.
Minute or something.
Miss minute, yeah.
Yeah, and you can see from this trailer as well, if you've seen it, folks. The miss minute, but it reminded me of Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I was actually going to go with. I was going to go with Willy Wonka.
Yeah,
it had Willy Wonka vibes. Yeah, but it's this sort of malevolent creature that's kind of hiding a wolf in sheep's clothes, if you'd like.
Yeah,
and it's going full on fucking batshit crazy. It was kind of like that.
Did Loki come out before No Way Home? Was this the first sort of multiverse sort of?
Loki came out. It came out after WandaVision, and I think before No Way Home.
WandaVision was the start of it, wasn't it?
It was the start of a sort of pocket universe, and multiversal shit. Then I think it was Loki. Then it was No Way Home.
Yeah.
And obviously Multiverse of Madness, which I
think No Way Home kind of peaked.
it did, yeah. Oh, it was unbelievable. Yeah, they should have left that. Yeah, you're right, Stephen. But then we wouldn't have had that, and it would have just been a sea of fucking whelming.
Multiverse of Madness was just such a letdown, wasn't it? It was just a strange idea of having Wanda as the main character in a Doctor Strange film.
And then Elizabeth Olsen just disappears off into the sunset.
Yeah, doesn't want to do it now.
Fuck Elizabeth, come on.
Yeah, what are you playing at? Come on. Great character, great actor.
She has to come back. She has to.
Yeah.
She certainly has to. We have to get this Vision stuff sorted out.
If the money's right, she will come back, John.
What was I going to say though? Loki.
Yeah,
Stephen, it was that multiversal story, but the cliffhanger at the end of season 1, what I see in the season 2 trailer is the way they're explaining that now. He is obviously been trapped in another universe, or maybe it's his universe and everyone else has been trapped in another universe, but the ramifications are that he is slipping between universes perpetually at the moment, constantly slipping. And a little effect, it put me in mind of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Hallows. I think it was I don't know if it's this, I can't remember the name of it. It's like apparating, where they can apparate in and out, but they hold a port key or something like that. I've not watched Harry Potter in a long time. I need to go in and watch it. But it's that sort of effect where it kind of like unravels or ravels. Oh, get a little
bit of feedback there.
So it was it gave me vibes of Harry Potter when they were sort of transporting, apparating to different regions.
Yeah.
That little effect when he was slipping in between universes. Lots of brilliant locations, Steve. We had a Western moment.
Yeah.
And then we had obviously Tom doing his sort of audition for Bond at the end, where there was free this sort of frilly fucking tuxedo get up. They say 200% more Tom Hiddleston in this article, and you certainly get that in the trailer. It's Tom front and centre. And I'm all for that. Because you certainly didn't get that in the first one. It was a sort of split between Sylvie and Loki, and I felt it was necessary.
I felt when they were suggesting this series, John, for season 1, I did expect it to be quite multiversal and very complex, but it wasn't really, was it? Sophie Di Martino,
yeah.
I think it was quite a straightforward good versus evil storyline. I think the only time we really got it was when Loki came into the show at the very... he obviously jumped through the portal from Endgame, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And appeared, obviously... with the... I can't remember what that setup was called. What was it? The sort of organisation?
Time Variance Authority.
Yeah. And it was great. You know, I don't think it was too confusing for anyone coming into this with fresh eyes or a lack of understanding of what the multiverse could potentially be. But I think in this season, John, they're going to really ramp it up now. And just in that headline alone, saying 200% more Tom Hiddleston means we're going to get different variants of this character. How complex that story is going to be, I'm not sure. I'm kind of worried about that to an extent, but I don't know. Where's that coming from?
I think that's from Twitch. Sorry, mate. I was looking for the chat. I don't know if you're even still there, but how you doing?
20 minutes ago.
We used to have restream chat, but I don't know what the fuck's going on there.
Yeah,
it disappeared out of OBS, and I've not even got the fucking app or nothing now. What's going on here? We're getting like a random fucking mental intro happening. Is this behind? Yeah, it's behind. It's all good. Don't worry about that. We'll pause that.
But did you have any concerns, John, in terms of how complex this storyline could go in season 2?
Yeah, no, Steve, because ultimately it is a complex storyline. You've got multiversal versions. What was it they're calling them again? Fuck, what were they calling them? Wasn't a replicant, that's fucking Blade Runner. But it was something like that, wasn't it? Yeah, there was a name for it. The different versions of Loki and other characters.
It's almost been 2 years since we've seen that.
It's crazy, man. Yeah, it's fucking mental how time's flying. It really is. Despite having that and the complexity, for me it was all about Loki. The main version of Loki, and even Sylvie popped through and became quite a prominent character. It was about them, their interactions, discovering himself through this world, because of course, Stephen, this is Loki as we know him from the Avengers when he was a villain in season 1. So he had to go through a sort of expedited maturing process.
He did,
and he really discovers himself in that show and matures a fucking hell of a lot, maybe even more so than what he did in 10 years of storytelling through the movies. So it was all about that character, and Tom getting to display his brilliant acting. And obviously you had the important side characters. Was it Mobius or something like that? Was it something like that, wasn't it? The Owen Wilson character.
Yep.
It was all about that. It was a sort of human demigod, if that's what fucking Loki is. Stuff that was going on in the show. The sort of time slipping and multiversal stuff was almost secondary for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Even when he was looping with, I think it was an ex-flame, and she kept slapping them and beating them up.
That's right, yeah.
It was just about hewing and sort of shaping this character.
I thought visually as well, John, and I know obviously WandaVision came before it, and visually that was striking.
Yeah.
But it was a contained story in a contained sort of location. But it was really good looking. But in this, they took it to another level. It was the kind of stuff you dream about when you're small and you're watching the likes of Doctor Who, and that's the kind of visuals you want to see. And we're at that stage now, and it does have that sort of Doctor Who feel to it.
Even the little musical bit.
Yeah,
it was kind of Who-esque.
Yep.
So yeah, it's weird how you can. There's sort of little inspiration.
October it comes out, John.
Yeah, October. Not long to go.
Yeah, by then
it feels like October just now.
Hopefully, we'll still have the channel by then.
Yeah, I think we will.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Well, this will be on CineWeb Play, which is our alternative channel, which we have set up for continuity.
Yeah.
Just in case this channel gets striked into the fucking shadow realm.
Yeah.
The abyss.
Yeah, abyss.
That's it.
It's like Shoe Bank.
It's like Mike Navrocky, aka Hayden Christensen, just signed for Celtic. Incredible. We always needed Anakin Skywalker, and now he's come back to fulfill the prophecy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it. Really enjoyed the trailer. Enjoyed Tom in it. And really enjoyed having Owen Wilson back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
Sort of taking the piss out of him when he was doing his dialogue. But yeah, it looks good, man. Really looking forward to it. It's one of the few Marvel properties right now doing its thing that I'm still invested in.
Yeah.
And I just hope to God that
it might get you back in the door, John. It might get you back in. Yeah. John, I know I've
you watched Guardians.
I've watched
Guardians.
Guardians is fantastic, John. I've seen.
I need a grip, period.
The only one I've not seen is the Thor one. Thor Love and Thunder.
I've seen that. It was shit. Don't watch it.
Because I'm not really fussed about it.
Although Mike, who comes in, quite liked Thor.
Yeah.
Love and Thunder. I just thought it was incredible.
Ant-Man, Quantumania was fine. It was a fucking weird, but it was expected it to be, and I watched it and Paul Rudd's in anyway. But
Stephen, do you remember like a couple of years ago we would never miss a Marvel release ever?
I don't think it was down to fatigue either, John. I think you're right. I think
it's just the quality.
I think just obviously Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans not being there, they were such a big presence. And we get that they have to move on. The actors can't commit to their whole life to playing these roles, but and things do evolve. But I've asked this question many times in terms of where the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to go eventually. Is it going to have to end at some point? Because if characters are dying off and getting killed off, you're not going to see them again.
No.
You've got and
I feel like it's time for them to. After these Avengers movies that are coming in a couple of years, to just cut. That's
have a
the
break.
end.
Yeah.
Have a break for maybe 3, 4, 5 years, and then recast and come in, and then we can do the X-Men, Marvel, all these amazing storylines with a fresh lick of paint. Yeah. Because you can't continue on long term with Marvel content and not have fucking Iron Man. You just can't. I know they're pondering Iron. Like, it's not Laddie, it's Iron Heart, I think.
Yeah.
They're trying to fill the gaps,
and they've obviously evolved Captain America.
And I love Tony Mackie's,
and
I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that character, that variant. That's the name, variant. It wasn't a replicant; it was a variant.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing what they do with him, and obviously with your man, Wyatt Russell.
Yep.
As your man, I'm blanking on his name. Bastard.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? US fucking...
Yeah.
Anyway,
don't know.
Fucking
Marine,
shit, Captain America.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to seeing where they go with that. Whether that's going to factor into Captain America 4, I think they're calling it.
Yeah.
Stephen, they need to do something. They need to change something, because something has went drastically wrong with Marvel in the last year and a half, 2 years. I don't know what it is. I don't get paid the money to make those decisions, but there is something wrong.
I don't think it's fatigue, though, from the fans. I think you make good films, people will watch them. I just don't think the standards there. I don't think I don't think they have the blueprint they once had.
No.
They don't have the long-term plan. You mentioned that, John, they're too busy trying to shoehorn everything in to connect with each other. They're forgetting about good storytelling.
And what did they do previously? It was brilliant individual stories, and then they connected it in an organic manner.
Yeah.
Sometimes after the film.
Yeah.
You don't. Not everything has to be
After the
about
credits,
connected tissue.
Just stick in Samuel Jackson, you know, to connect it.
See, we're missing guys like that, Stephen. This is what we're missing, man. I know he's still floating about, but he was such a prominent.
He's in that, obviously, Secret
Invasion,
yeah. But nah, I'm not. I don't know what it is. You know, I'll still watch the Ant-Man films. I still watch the Doctor Strange ones, and perhaps maybe Captain Marvel. I'm not really sure. I've not seen the Marvels, so again,
Marvel is not out yet.
Yeah.
To be fair, I've not, Stephen, I can rhyme off all of the things I've not seen in the last 2
Marvel,
years.
sorry, I meant.
Not seen Miss Marvel. I've not seen Moon Knight.
Yeah.
And I love Oscar Isaac. I've not seen that. I've not seen Eternals. I've not seen Guardians yet, but I'm going to watch it. I've not seen
John,
Ant-Man,
I think the last
Quantumania.
thing you get really excited about in terms of MCU was that horror one that we
I fucking loved that. Yeah, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
The werewolf. Fucking God, what was it called again?
By Night or something.
Werewolf by Night.
Was
I
that
loved
what it was? Yeah.
It was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
I loved it. I love those fucking mental old school black and white horror movies.
Yeah.
You'd see like Peter Cushing popping up. I love that, man.
Yeah.
Grew up with my grandfather watching shit like that.
Hammer, yeah.
Yeah, and that went back and sort of tapped into that. I just loved it.
Yeah.
And I loved the shortness of it. It was succinct, it had a story to tell.
Yeah.
It was a part of this universe we hadn't explored before. I just loved it, man.
Yeah.
The humour was on point. It was great.
It'll be interesting to see where they go with that as well, John. But we're going to move on to our third topic, and we're going to move into some Indian news, John, that we didn't know about. We obviously knew about Jawan.
It was getting linked to a cameo with SRK though.
And we didn't know it was this film though.
Yeah, we didn't.
And
I think we assumed it was fucking
the headline talks about obviously the fee revealed. I'm going to just say it, and this isn't clickbait or anything like that. He's doing it for free because he's such a great guy.
In inverted commas.
John, I would do a free cameo. Not that anyone would care. I want that. But if it's SRK, just to be in the presence of the man, I would.
Yeah.
You know, I would. Yeah. I'll pay yous.
Stephen, I seen the image. I don't know if it's real. It looks like the two of them are performing together and dancing.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, there was something I was watching. I think it was Kamal Hassan. It was on Twitter.
Yeah.
It was trending on Twitter. I think it was a, what do they call those things again? Audio show. It's like a celebration of the film just before its release. Love what they do over in India with that.
Yeah.
But it's like an arena of fans.
It's a celebration, yeah.
The crew, the cast, everyone, they get up and they sort of like...
In a way it is like a convention, I suppose, isn't it?
It's for individual movies.
Yeah, for individual movies, John. But this coming in from is it CSAT Daily website, and it does say
CSAT, yes.
Shah Rukh Khan and Thalapathy Vijay fans are in for some exciting news, as they will be starring alongside each other in director Atlee's eagerly awaited pan-Indian debut film, The Jawan. The action choreographer for the film has confirmed that the two superstars will not only appear together but will also deliver a thrilling action scene that promises to be a visual treat for audiences.
Love that poster, by the way. I just love this character. The trailer was fucking dynamite.
It was. Look at that picture down there as well, down below.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah.
You realise just the presence these two guys have
respect
got, man.
as well for each other they've got, isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
I think SRK is quoted in saying
is that Atlee in the middle, incidentally?
I think it might be. I assumed it was, yeah.
Quite small, isn't it?
But SRK has went on record to say that he likes what Thalapathy Vijay is doing in terms of his films. He's a fan. And obviously in return, Vijay has obviously been a massive fan of SRK for a long time. And that's his inspiration. But I mean, this is a surprise. We knew it was coming, John, but I didn't realise it was coming this soon.
I've got to laugh though, Stephen, how they put in the bottom of the article. It's almost like a kick to SRK. Shah Rukh, obviously. Yeah. On the other hand, Shah Rukh Khan is reportedly charging over 100 crore plus 60% from the total profits. Yeah, it's his fucking movie. What's his charging? Do you think he's going to do it for free? Telepathy's coming in for a fucking cameo. To sort of have this epic moment. He's already made. He's got huge reputation.
Obviously, Vijay is a massive. He's a massive pull in India. But do you think there's benefits for him to appear in a film with SRK? You're talking about regions, John.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously huge down the south of India, Tamil Nadu. I presume the Telugu regions. He's massive. Andhra Pradesh, I think that's a Telugu region. I don't think I know. I've got a good friend from Andhra Pradesh.
Yeah.
Hyderabad, so I know it's a Telugu region. Fuck you saying you think. John, you know. He's massive down there. But we discussed this, Stephen, when we were reviewing and watching a load of his content films. I think we watched over a dozen or around about a dozen movies. Going way back to the 90s, early 2000s, recent ones. And we did question why he hadn't really get involved in a pan-Indian movie, because of course we've seen with Kamal Hassan, Vijay Thalapathy with Vikram. It's kind of not really pan-Indian, but it's a big release. We've seen Vijay Thalapathy moving up north and doing some content for Northern Indian sort of industries. We question why Thalapathy hadn't really made that move, and we obviously had Ruth coming on, who's a bit of an expert for certainly most of the Indian sort of movie industries and the content, but more specifically South.
Yeah.
And she suggested it was just more of a, I don't know, not a comfort thing, but yeah, he's huge down there. He doesn't really have to step outside of that comfort sort of zone. He's making huge amounts of money. He's wildly successful. Why would you need to change anything? But as a fan of Thalapathy and as a fan of likes of Amir Khan and Shah Rukh now, that we've seen one of these movies finally, and we need to go and watch more.
Yep.
You want to see guys like this acting together in their prime.
Yeah.
You want to see these huge sort of collaborations. So I'm glad to see he's going up, and I don't know if he's going up. I don't know if they went down to him or whether they've met somewhere in the middle. I don't know where this movie was shot. But it's good to see they're collabing these two massive names. One from, I mean, he's just a fucking worldwide sensation.
I'll tell you
Shah
something,
Rukh.
John, when we do go and see Jawan and Thalapathy Vijay comes on the scene, it's going to be quite epic, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
You know, we get that he's not going to be one of the main characters in it. It's going to be almost a cameo, but a kind of extended cameo for the film as well. But it's going to really pack a punch, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
I mean, it'll be like your man Salman.
Salman.
I'm always getting concerned that I've made that.
No.
My name Salman Khan. He came on as Tiger in Patan. It was a fucking mental, over the top sequence, but it was absolutely epic.
Yep.
And the action was brilliant. He was in the movie for the little end credit bit aside, probably for 5 minutes. But one of the most enjoyable moments in the whole movie, him and Shah Rukh.
Chemistry and that
chemistry was brilliant.
Yeah. Well, obviously they've got banter between them in previous films and stuff like that, and yeah, I mean, it was just good to see John, and for the limited time we got to see him on screen was fantastic. It was epic. It was one of those.
And we obviously know, Stephen, that Thalapathy is, I was about to say mega or mentally. I don't know why. Mega. What was that again? That was God, I always fucking forget it, but I know that I'll get it. Grand Mocha with no sugar and almond milk for mega.
Yep.
I'll never forget that. I can't wait for Farsi season 2, incidentally.
Yeah.
Huge fan of Shahid Kapoor as well.
Just hold all these seasons back until we're
strike
free. Yeah.
We know that he's more than capable, Stephen, Thalapathy, of delivering epic action. We've seen it in a wide variety of different movies. This guy can play 2-3 versions of himself across multiple timelines, and he knows how to deliver compelling and realistic action. He can deliver mental, over the top, crazy fucking super heroic action as well.
Yeah.
So whatever they decide to do with this movie, and look, from the trailer, it looks as though it's going down the more humorous, comedic side of things. Obviously at the end, when you've got Shah Rukh at the end of the trailer and he's like a slap head, I think he gets burnt or something, because you can see up the top he's kind of in bandages. Maybe he doesn't, but when he's dancing about holding that train to ransom with potentially an explosive or something like that, that's fucking hilarious. I'm sorry. So if that's the route they're going down, we know Thalapathy can do humour, we know he can do action, so I think it's a match made in heaven. Looking forward to it.
Can't wait, John. But we're going to move on to our final topic, and it's a bit of gaming news, John. One of our favourites from the past. Certainly glad this is not something that happened back when we were playing Call of Duty 3.
We never cheated back in the day, Steve. We didn't have to. We were incredible at that game.
We called it modding, but Activision bans 14,000 Call of Duty cheaters, John. That's less than their subscribers, but for now anyway. So that's a massive lot of people that are going to get banned. They're calling them cheaters in last wave before season 5.
Are they real though?
Well, this is
AI.
John, you just
are they fucking bots?
But it does say in this, I think it's NME actually, which is strange. It's a musical newspaper covering the gaming news, but over 14,000 Call of Duty accounts have been banned after Activision discerned that these players were cheating with illegitimate software. Who would do that?
Why should you fucking do that for F1?
The anti-cheat team identified accounts in both Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone through new detections, directly targeting cheat developers at the source. As stated by Dexectro, it's theorised that these are players that use services like engine owning and interwebs, as these users are reportedly unable to log into the game now. I think that's funny. But John, it's something that's not...
Yeah, I mean, they've got aim assist.
It's been happening for years, but obviously things have become more advanced, lately, obviously, as you said, but yeah, I mean, 14,000 people, that's a lot of people, isn't
massive, it? Yeah, but I think, to be fair, I mean, I could search it up just now if the internet wants to play ball, and sometimes it doesn't. But Call of Duty Warzone player base, I bet it's fucking insane. It's like 1 million.
Yeah.
300,000, so 14,000 is like a drop in the ocean.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a huge amount of fucking people that are getting kicked. That's probably the player base for most games. Yeah. But it's so monumental.
But they've got to protect, John, the actual legit.
Yeah, gamers. I mean, Stephen, you've got guys like Dr. Disrespect and Tim the Tatman and fucking other people who have watching occasions who play this competitively.
Yep.
And are insanely fucking good at the game.
Yeah.
And they're constantly calling it out, this guy's cheating, he's hacking. There's no way he can fucking shoot me from there. I've shot him, I've got these amount. I mean, Dr. Disrespect's renowned for getting off in rants. Yeah. And even when he gets rightfully killed, he doesn't accept it. It's a character. He's playing a character. He's fucking amazing. I love him. But it's something that's been going about for years and years and years. And there's a sort of warfare, if you like, between the hackers, the modders, the cheaters, and the sort of developers and the anti-cheat engines that are getting produced to try and stop them doing it. It's something that's been going on as an eternal battle.
Cheaters hanging around the theatres, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stephen, look, I've not played Warzone. I'm terrified to go in and play it because I think I'd get my arse handed to me on a fucking play. Now that I've moved and I'm on the PC, I mean, I'd probably need to get a next gen console, which is probably not going to be next gen by the time I buy it, and get back to a gamepad to actually compete. Yeah. On the mouse, I tried it with Battlefront 2. I was about to say Battlefield, and I mean, I've got a 240 fucking megahertz monitor.
Yeah, I mean, it takes you a while to get into these games as well and get a feel for them, John.
I'm rocking like a fucking Logitech G Pro mouse.
You don't want to be doing it on the PC and then moving over to next gen console. It's not going to do you any favours, but I think as well, obviously, reactions slow down in time.
Mine don't. I tested that last night. Funny you should mention that, Stephen. I literally tested that last night. And when I say last night, I mean early hours of this morning.
John, there was a time and it was phenomenal. We were talking maybe 20 years ago.
That's fucking scary, yeah.
Well, maybe 17 years ago, 2006, when Call of Duty 3 came out, armed with just a rifle, and some of the fucking shots he used to do had me in tears of laughter.
Yeah, I mean, I was even quicker back then, Stephen, to be fair.
It was like the gun was just another extension of your lung. Just fucking
headshot.
Hilarious to watch.
We were getting like 100 plus kills every game.
You resorted to people hiding in tanks. That's how bad it was.
Because we had epic battles back in the day, though, Stephen, where people would play time and again, and there was like full on beef fucking like spats going on.
Oh, yeah.
They'd come in and like shoot me in the head and leave. I'd follow them into the game, shoot them in the head and leave. So that's what was going on. But my reaction times are fucking still incredible, Stephen. I tested them last night. I'm at 156 milliseconds. It's insane.
Keep that going, though. Keep it going. I know you do with obviously your driving games and stuff like that, John, but you need to keep that up. Obviously, maintain that.
And I've done two just to make sure, because I like to keep sharp.
Also, I mean, going back then when we were on the sort of subject of cheaters as well, John. I do remember there was a lot of modding going on in those games as well. Particularly Call of Duty 3, Call of Duty 5. It was always the same programmers, you know how they took turns.
Activision.
They were really
I think it was Treyarch.
Notorious for it, Treyarch.
Yeah, they were fucking terrible.
They had characters like flying up into the air and stuff like that. We did it. You did it and I just joined on because I didn't know how to do it. I'll join the party.
See, I remember the zombie mode. The zombie mode was a stuff of fucking legend. You had people cheating in that as well. And I wish I knew how to do it.
Yeah.
Because it terrified the fucking life out of me, man.
That was some game, wasn't it?
When it got to that sort of
craziness,
the breaking point where you were getting overwhelmed. You're like,
You've been playing it for about 2 hours, that's why.
I wonder if they've still got that. Actually, I have to check and see if they're still rocking the zombie mode in Call of Duty these days. It's been a while since I've played Call of Duty. And the ray gun was the stuff for Legends. I loved that
trinket box, yeah.
Yeah, the ding 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 ding. Yeah, it was creepy as fuck. What a mode!
It's good to see. It is good to see John they are banning these cheaters on a serious note, because if you're a legit gamer, the whole overall experience of playing games with these guys and it just kills everything.
It does.
And
it's in Dead by Daylight as well. They cheat in that.
They just set out to ruin the experience, and it's good to see that Activision are doing something about it.
It's Stephen, I'm telling you, it's everywhere. Dead by Daylight is fucking renowned for it as well.
Yeah,
and you'll
find out soon enough, guys, when John's going to be dropping some videos into the new channel
of me slapping people and fucking pointing and teabagging and mentally breaking kills, which is what I like to do. I will not be streaming or recording videos of me playing fucking F1 23 though, because I'm a very good driver in real life, but absolutely fucking pitiful on that, and that's me spending insane amounts of fucking money on direct drive wheels.
You said as well, you sweat a lot in that game.
Unbelievable amount. I couldn't put a camera in front of myself. I actually have to go topless. I was sitting with my boxers on during the last heat wave, fucking drenched in sweat, because the force, Stephen, that is getting emitted from this motherfucking industrial strength motor that's actually powering the wheel is off the fucking charts. It's like a workout, man. And if you hit the wall, you are snapping your fucking wrist. So it's fun, but it's incredibly fucking taxing. And you sweat, as I like to say, like a rapist. So that'll not be getting streamed or recorded. Dead by Daylight, though, maybe. And maybe something else. Yeah. Are we done, Stephen? Shall I click this off and go to here? And I had the foresight to switch the intro off, which loops if you don't switch it off, so we don't get the intro again, which is a first for this channel, because usually when you stream you get the fucking intro at least twice. What's your thoughts on the talks we touched upon? What do you make about Paul McCartney? James Paul McCartney. Sir James Paul McCartney. McCartney. Potentially giving us another global, international, major tour. How many adjectives can I put into the sentence that mean the same thing? Well, 2 in that occasion. What's your thoughts on it? Got to get you into my life. He's posed a sort of cryptic message, a massage, onto social media. Well, someone has, maybe not him. Would you like to see Macca touring again, potentially one last time on this occasion, because he is getting on, to be fair? Is it something you want to see? Should he chuck it? Share your thoughts down below about that. What's your thoughts on the Loki Season 2 trailer, which dropped 200% more Tom Hiddleston apparently, and it certainly looked that way from the trailer. That's good enough for me. I think he's a brilliant actor. One of the few good guys that came out of Eton. I'll not hold it against him. Nothing wrong with going to a sort of esteemed institution like that unless you become a fucking Tory and a leader with floppy blonde hair who's got a propensity for lying and hooring himself around everywhere, allegedly. Share your thoughts down below about that. Share your thoughts down below about Thalapathy Vijay's cameo, which she is doing for fucking zilch. Nothing in Jawan, alongside SRK. Finally, your thoughts on Activision banning 14,000 Call of Duty cheats. Anything you feel compelled to share can be put down below in the comment section. That's the place to share your thoughts. You can also like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon. Notifications straight to your eyeballs will happen if that is clicked. Do the same thing over on Twitch. Follow button, notifications button over there. Also left to be said is until the next time, me and Steve are done. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye. Tripped up there. I fucking hate it when I make a mistake at the end. Bye-bye.